Hello everybody, this is Gruesome Fox coming at you with a 450 cost rated match here in the Rider DII. We're going to be on Colony Drop area for this match here. It's going to be a bit of a, not really an older match. I mean, this match did come from last week, so this was around the release of the prototype camper when 450 was very prominent and usually when a cost becomes a bit more prominent, especially when it's on the lower end, I do try to get some matches with particular suits that I've been meaning to play, and the Rider DII has been on my list for a very long time. I have been meaning to try out the D2 a bit more than I have in the past, since this is a suit I have not played all too often, and only recently did I kind of get that spark back to, try and play the suit, try to get some matches with it, and kind of see how the suit performs. And what really kind of sparked this curiosity with me in the D2 is that I feel like, compared to all of the other Pale Rider variants that are currently in GBO2, I believe that the Pale Rider D2 is the most forgotten variant. Even when it comes to the more obscure Pale Riders that don't really show up all too often, like the Pale Rider Dualahan, the 400 raid. I absolutely love that suit back in the day, and I still love it now, but oh man, that suit could really stand to get some type of buff in the current GBO2 meta. But some of the other Pale Riders too that just don't really show up as often, they really just do not compare to the D2 here. I cannot remember the last time I have seen anybody play the Pale Rider D2, not in rated matches, not in quick matches, not in custom matches, not anywhere. I just have not seen this suit pop up, really, I feel like since its release. Honestly, I cannot remember the last time I have seen anybody using the D2. So again, really got me interested in trying it out and kind of seeing how this suit performs. So yeah, I'll just start by going over the D2 here, just kind of some of its details. And the Pale Rider D2 is a 450 cost support. It does also go up to 500 at level 2. You actually get a pretty good arsenal of weapons here. Starting off, you have the Hyper Beam Rifle as your main primary weapon. You also have a Beam Saber for melee. And for your secondary weapons, you have the Head-Mounted Vulcan Enhanced. You have the D2 Shekinah Gatling Gun. You also have the D2 Shekinah Missile Launcher and the Mega Beam. And then you also have a Slide Shield on the left arm. So yeah, you do have the, I'm going to call it the Frame Launcher. I think I may have butchered the actual name of the weapon, but for the Frame Launcher, yeah, what kind of makes this suit different from the Pale Rider Cavalry is that all of your weapons are sub-weapons, so that also plays into one of the skills that you get with this suit as well, that being the Composite Weapon System Optimizer. And what this skill does is that when you are switching between weapons that are part of the Frame Launcher, so basically, go from the Gatling to the missile launchers, you get an 80% reduction on your ready-up time. So pretty much it just speeds up the ready-up time for your weapons to near instant, which is a really nice gimmick for the D2 here. And on top of that, when it comes to the suit's melee, you do get 2 melee swings with the D2, which is, kind of rare since it is a support unit. You don't have a lot of supports that get 2 melee swings, though you do have melee priority 1, so that means pretty much everything from generals to raids will be able to overpower your melee. Something I kind of wish they would do with the suit already is give it melee priority 2. I think that would be a lot better for the D2, kind of make it a bit more of a mid to close range support unit. But yeah, aside from the, again, you have the 2 melee swings in the Composite Weapon System Optimizer, you really just kind of get a lot of typical support skills. There really isn't too much to highlight here. I should also mention with the Mega Beam, the Mega Beam is a weapon that you have to charge. It's not like the Cavalry's, which I believe is a, you fire it, it's an instant stun already, you don't have to charge it or anything. D2 Mega Beam, you do have to do that, so I kind of wish they would change that as well, because I feel like that's one of the flaws with the D2, is that you don't have an at-the-ready instant stun. So really giving the Mega Beam the ability to fire without charging, just for less damage and it being a stun. Kind of what they did with the Unit 4's Mega Rifle, kind of something like that. I think that would also be really nice for the D2. I'm kind of jumping ahead here. I'm already going into these suggestions that I would like to see for this suit get added if it ever got buffed, but really for the positives, I do feel like there is some nice things with the D2. I do like like that composite weapon skill that lets you switch a lot faster. I think that is really nice. I also like the weapons overall. I think in the right circumstances, they can do some really decent damage, so that is also kind of cool for it there, but aside from that, there's just not really a whole lot going on for the D2 here, and since, it is one of the Dualahan Pale Rider variants, you don't get Hades with this suit, so you don't have, any form of, touchpad skill that you can use to, buff your suit or anything. That's kind of another thing that I think holds back the D2 quite considerably, and that's coming from me who doesn't really use touchpad skills that often. I know they would never add it because in universe the D2 does not have the Hades or anything, but that kind of just makes me wish that they would do some type of buff to compensate around that, just to kind of strengthen what the D2 already has. Definitely something for the melee. I would love for it to have either melee priority 2, or at the very least have it be able to boost and go straight into melee, since you can't boost and go into melee with the D2. You do have to stop if you're boosting, which I think is also kind of ridiculous. I really wish this suit would just be able to stop, not even stop, but just, boost and instantly go into melee. I guess technically you could do that if you were in a space match, but on ground, I really wish they would add that. I think that would just be another really good pro for the D2, but aside from that, I can kind of see why nobody plays the D2, because again, there's really no real advantage to playing this suit, especially when you have the White Rider, which is a suit I still glaze to this day. Absolutely love the White Rider, which is at the same cost, and it can go straight into melee. It has some really nice weapons. You have the Mega Beam with that. You have the grenade launcher. The Gatling on the White Rider I think is really good, and that's just a suit that can also pack quite a wallop. So comparatively, even not even just with the White Rider, but just with other suits in general, again, there's just no real reason to use the D2, which is a shame. I really hope the suit gets some type of adjustment in the future. Before I kind of wrap up here, let's see how he did in this, 450 cost match here on Colony Drop area. And didn't get anywhere on the board, but Prototype Camper did really well. And third place with 3 kills and 1 loss. Did get third in assist and damage, so got a pretty alright damage score there. Also, another reason I kind of think this match went so well is because the enemy team did not have any supports or raids. Because the matches I played with the D2 where the enemy team had a raid, it was a lot more of a struggle compared to this one. So, really it just seems like the D2 can't really even defend itself all too well, which again feels ironic because it has 2 melee swings. So, I definitely feel like the D2 can use some type of overhaul in the future. Again, I feel like playing more into the mid and close range role as a support, I think would be a really good fit with it. And I feel like, when we have suits like the Cannon Gan, which had really good close range capabilities. Not really a fair comparison because that suit is at 650 and this is 450, but I feel like there is some potential there to kind of give the D2 a similar treatment. Again, focus on its more close range aspects. Would definitely love for it to have a normal instant stun to some degree and not one that it has to charge up. So, again, maybe changing the Mega Beam to have an uncharged stunning option that doesn't do as much damage. I think that could be really neat, but Yeah, really, I'm kind of just yapping on here. I just kind of wanted to play the D2, talk about it, kind of see how the suit held up currently. Unfortunately, it just doesn't feel like it holds up that well. Again, there's no reason to not use any other support, so really hoping the D2 gets some type of buff in the future, but yeah, that's all I really have for this video here. Comment down below what you think about the Pale Rider D2. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.